continuation of my last video. Just things to keep in mind when you're moving here to Tanzania. This is the second part of the video because, as I said in my last video, this is going to be kind of long if I just put it in one video. So I just wanted to break it up to make it a little easier on y'all. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in. Just sit down. And I really urge us who are coming out or who are thinking of coming out, please do some self-work, okay? And analyze the person who you are, okay? And what we don't want to do is we don't want to come out here and have this be a dumping ground for our toxic behaviors, all right? We don't want this to be a dumping ground for the mentalities that we've had to grow up with, for the generational curses that we have had to grow up with, for the mindsets that were forced upon us, that we were forced to adopt, and the harshness that the harsh environments, the abusive environments that we were forced to grow up in. Y'all know what I'm talking about, never-ending police brutality, the systemic oppression, the just the everyday life things that we go through, the stress of being a Black man in America, a Black woman in America, a Black child as well. They feel it on a multitude of levels. We don't want to just come out here with all of our problems, like I said, and be a dumping ground, because, people here are also facing their own set of challenges. And yes, like I said before, I did come out here to heal, but also, please, you guys, we have to do some self-work before we come out here as well, or at least analyze ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror. I literally looked myself in the mirror and was talking to myself like, Kat, you need to heal from 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to recognize the problems within ourselves and not put ourselves on a moral pedestal, or, think that we are better than people out here, better than, the local people, because we do things differently. Their colonization shows up in far different ways than our colonization shows up in, our wounds look a little different than theirs, but they're still wounds caused by the same sword, okay? And we just have to be very cautious of how we treat our brothers and sisters out here. You can't be cursing people out, because they taking too long or doing this or doing that. You can't be cursing people out because, they didn't do things the way you wanted them to do it, or, whatever the case may be. We have to really try to put our differences aside, because, we're different. We're different, okay? We grew up in a different environment, so we have a completely different mentality about a lot of things. It's a pole lifestyle out here, and pole means slow, okay? People ain't in a rush to do anything, okay? People do things really on their own time. And as I spent more and more time out here, I came to realize that, that's the natural pace of life, really. I feel like I'm kind of rambling right now, and I hope y'all get me. But, I just really, really, really wanted to share this with you guys, because it's important that we don't romanticize. One, we don't romanticize, over-romanticize, because you're going to set yourself up for failure, because it's not going to be that, ever. It's not. And I'm popping your bubble. I'm bursting it. It's not going to be what you have in your mind. So just try and keep an open mind. Learn the history a little bit about why. Learn the history a little bit about the people, about historically what has happened in the certain country that you're planning on visiting or relocating to. Because you learn the history, then you learn how the people are. You learn the people. Because if you know the history, then you know the people. Ultimately, you get a better understanding of who they are, why they have the mentality that they do, why they move about life how they do. Colonialism has affected us in two different ways, you guys. Continental Africans versus diasporans. And each set of diaspora has their own story about how colonialism has affected them as well. And when people rip you off, don't take it personal. It's not an attack against you. It's just charge it to the game, okay? just charge it to the game, because it's gonna happen until you really understand how to move. And as I said, I'm really just tired of people coming out here with a chip on their shoulder, with a ew mentality, like, ugh, why is this that way? Why is this that way? Why are the roads like this? Complaining and complaining. And I say to those people, this ain't for you. If you know that you're that type of person, and you know you are very, very particular about this and that and that and this is not for you. Stay on the plantation, stay in Babylon, or go to another country that suits you best. Because for those people who have that mindset of always drawing different comparisons in a negative way, we always draw comparisons because that is human nature. That's how we, that's how we figured out back in the hunter-gatherer days whether this berry was poison or this berry was good, whatever the case may be. But don't just sit up and complain about every single thing. People have their own way of doing stuff. I guess what I'm just ultimately trying to say is people, the local people here, and in any nation that you visit in Africa, they have their own way of doing things thousands and thousands and thousands of years before you came. So just try and check yourself, okay? Don't come out with a mentality that you know everything. You will not have a good transition. You will not. And I'm here to tell you, like I said, Africa will chew you up and spit you out. It's not for people who come out thinking they know everything, or feel entitled to certain treatment, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's not for you. And I really urge you to analyze who you are and be real with yourself. Know what type of traveler you are. And to all my people for the first time traveling outside your home country, you best keep an open mind. This is far different than your home country, I promise. Unless you're coming from another country on the continent, this is far different than what you've ever experienced. And like I said, I've been to over 30 countries, and this is by far the most different country I've been to, culture-wise and things like that. It's beautiful if you let it be. It's beautiful if you can have patience with yourself and with the people, okay? It's a learning process from both ends. And to my Tanzanian brothers and sisters who watch this, I love you. But you please be patient with us as well. We're trying to learn your culture. We're trying to learn your language. We're trying to learn the ins and outs. We're trying to learn how to get around without y'all having street signs and stuff. Like, be patient with us. And please, don't rip us off, okay? And it's not good for either party. Karmic debt, karmic retribution, it's a real thing, okay? Anyways, I'm just going to wrap the video up because I have rambled enough. But you guys, do that self-work. Look within. Discern the plot. Okay? That's another thing I have to say real quick. The powers that be want us to be against each other. They want us to hate one another. They want us diasporans to talk so much trash about the continent because, hey, they've already done it. I ain't even finna go into, the things that they've showed us on the Western media. Y'all all know. A lot of us tend to believe things like that. What we've been shown on Western media and things. And then the mentality that a lot of continental Africans, I'm not even going to say a lot, but some continental Africans have about African Americans or Africans who grew up in the West is that, excuse me, it's not a good one either. It's not a good mentality. I mean, not a good idea. So, we have to just open our eyes, both sides, and discern the plot against the African people globally. They don't want us to unify because, baby, when we unify, we are taking over the world, okay? We already fuel the world. All the riches from every European country or European colony has been fueled off the backs of African people and African nations, period. The gold, the diamonds, the natural gas, the minerals, the earth, even sand, baby. They've even shipped sand from Africa to other nations. Soil, look it up. Everything, every riches, all the riches, okay? Fruits, vegetables. Do you know how much agriculture Africa exports each year? I don't have the figures, but look it up. All right. But anyways, yeah, just understand that we are at war. They are trying to, which they have always been trying to put us against each other. Don't let them win, please. Come out here with an open mind, ready to learn and ready to have a reciprocating relationship of teacher and student, with the culture, with the people. We both have a lot to learn from each other, and we both have a specific and special set of skills that both parties can benefit from. So this is like my third time saying goodbye, but I'm definitely wrapping it up. Discern the plot, come out with an open mind, learn Kiswahili, keep a level head. Y'all be all right, okay? So I just had to put all of that out there. This is it. This is all I'm gonna say. Wrapping it up. Love you guys. It's late, so I'm y'all can see my eyes are low. I'm pretty tired, but love y'all.